What happens when the quiet, shy boy next door grows up to become one of America's most terrifying killers? A man so disturbed that his crimes would not only shock the world, but forever change the way police and communities handle missing persons and serial predator cases? Today, we're diving deep into the disturbing story of Jeffrey Dahmer, the Milwaukee Cannibal. By the end of this video, you'll understand not only how Dahmer lured and killed his victims, but also the haunting details of his early life, the investigation that finally caught him, and why his case still raises troubling questions about justice and prevention. Stick with me because as the layers peel back, you'll see how one man managed to hide in plain sight, and how his darkest secret was only discovered because of a single lucky escape. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. From the outside, he looked like an ordinary boy. But early signs of trouble were already there. At just 4 years old, Dahmer underwent surgery for a double hernia. Those close to him said the procedure marked a turning point. His once lively personality grew quiet and withdrawn. He became fascinated with dead animals, collecting roadkill and dissecting carcasses in the woods near his home. His father, a chemist, taught him how to use acid, thinking it was harmless science curiosity. But for Dahmer, it was the beginning of a much darker obsession. By high school, Dahmer was struggling with alcohol, secretly battling confusion over his sexuality, and retreating further into a world of violent fantasies. Pierce saw a boy who cracked jokes and pulled pranks, but behind that mask his inner world was spiraling into something deadly. In June 1978, just weeks after graduating from high school, Dahmer committed his first murder. He picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks, lured him to his home with promises of alcohol, and later bludgeoned him to death when Hicks tried to leave. Dahmer dismembered the body, crushed the bones with a sledgehammer, and scattered them in the woods behind his house. He was just 18 years old. This first kill would remain a dark secret for nearly a decade. Dahmer even joined the army, but his heavy drinking got him discharged. 4 years he drifted between jobs, arrests, and short stints in his grandmother's home in Milwaukee, hiding his growing urges behind closed doors. By 1987, Dahmer's desires could no longer be contained. That year he killed 25-year-old Stephen Twomey in a hotel room. From then on, the murders escalated. He lured young men, often gay men or men of color, with promises of money, alcohol, or a place to stay. Dahmer would drug his victims, strangle them, and then commit acts of necrophilia and dismemberment. He saved body parts as trophies, skulls, bones, and even organs stored in his apartment freezer and refrigerator. Neighbors noticed foul smells and strange noises coming from apartment 213 on North 25th Street. But Dahmer always had excuses: spoiled meat, bad plumbing. And the complaints went largely ignored. 4 years, the murders continued. 17 young men in total from 1978 to 1991. The horror finally came to light on July 22, 1991. Tracy Edwards, a 32-year-old man, managed to escape Dahmer's apartment after being lured inside. Handcuffed and terrified, Edwards flagged down 2 Milwaukee police officers and led them back to Dahmer's home. What they found inside shocked even seasoned investigators. Polaroid photos of dismembered bodies, human heads in the refrigerator, drums filled with acid and decomposing remains. The apartment was a house of horrors, the kind you'd expect in a nightmare, not a quiet neighborhood. The evidence was overwhelming. Dahmer confessed in chilling detail, explaining his rituals of killing, dismembering, and even consuming parts of his victims. In 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer stood trial for 15 of the murders. His defense attorneys tried to argue insanity, but the jury saw him as legally sane. He was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms, over 900 years in prison. But his time behind bars didn't last long. In 1994, just 2 years into his sentence, Dahmer was beaten to death by a fellow inmate. The man who terrorized Milwaukee was gone, but the scars he left remain. Dahmer's crimes raised troubling questions. How did police miss the warning signs? Why did neighbors' complaints go unheard? Could more lives have been saved if authorities had acted sooner? The case sparked nationwide conversations about policing, race, and the treatment of LGBTQ+ communities, who were disproportionately targeted by Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer's story is one of horror, tragedy, and missed chances. It's the tale of how a seemingly quiet man hid one of the darkest secrets in modern crime history, and how it all unraveled because of one victim's courage to escape. If you've stayed with me until now, you've seen the shocking rise and fall of the Milwaukee Cannibal. Cases like these remind us of the importance of vigilance, awareness, and justice for victims who can no longer speak for themselves. What do you think? Could Dahmer have been stopped earlier? And what lessons should we carry from this case into today's world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into the world's most chilling cold cases.